who is the Neurosurgical Research Foundation and what are we doing in this space? So basically, we were set up by a group of neurosurgeons 60 years ago, realising that there are many important conditions in the world, like diabetes, kidney, heart conditions, that have a lot more patients going through those systems. And so that those areas receive a lot more funding, not only in research, but also in treatment in hospitals. So the neurosurgeons realised that they needed some way of bringing to the fore their causes, the conditions that they deal with, which are brain tumour, stroke, Parkinson's and traumatic brain injury. So ultimately, we've been established so that we can champion those conditions in research and in treatment. And so the two founders are Trevor Dinning and Donald Simpson. I was very fortunate to actually meet Donald Simpson and work with him for many years. And this is like their legacy now. We ultimately fund research. However, the neurosurgeons meet regularly to discuss what the priorities are. And 10 years ago, they came to us and said, brain tumour is just critical. We need more money in research, but especially once we got into that space, we also realised that there was no one assisting with information for patients. And that's where we've, for the first time, crossed over from being a research priority to actually taking on that, helping you guys go through the journey and especially trying to put together information. We'll make it a priority to work with the Dental Association to get something put into those packs ASAP, and we will also put your presentation up on socials for all the other patients who couldn't come today. That was a brilliant presentation. So ultimately, going back to the NRF, yes, research is our mission, however, so is the journey and care for brain tumour patients, because no one is doing that in South Australia. As I discussed, they're all our conditions. So we've now raised, funded 12 million in research. Yes, we've been around for 60 years, but a lot of these research dollars have only actually been given out in the last 15 years. In the early days, our grants were like $5,000, but that's in the early, that was in the 60s and 70s, whereas now we're giving out $1 million a year. And we cover all institutions. That's the great thing about us being independent. We can support anything. We're part of the Australian Brain Cancer Mission, so we're working with all the other brain tumour organisations you've heard of, Cure Brain Cancer, Kerry Bickmore's, all of us are part of the National Brain Cancer Mission. We've pledged to give $5 million to brain cancer between 17 and 27. We've almost given $3 million already. I think hopefully by the end of this year we will have reached that. So, and that covers everything from the Paediatric Brain Tumour Bank, the SA Brain Tumour Bank, the researchers here, equipment in this lab, equipment in hospitals, and more importantly, the scholarships for a lot of the young faces I can see in the room here today. Then also, as Stuart has many times spoken, one of the most important things that we fund is seed funding. We fund the real beginnings of research that no one else will fund. Federal government has such strict criteria. The evidence that needs to be produced for the next level of research cannot be done without funding, and that's what we fund. We fund the beginnings, the ideas, the concepts, that then these wonderful people can go and get matched. There's some examples, 800,000, 2 million. That's money we can't raise, but we can generate through our seed funding and aid the researchers getting it from the government. We've been working with a wonderful group, the Adelaide Brain Tumour Support Group. It's an online group that does meet once a month, and anyone who isn't part of it, I really encourage you to join. It's a great group of people who've been through all these things themselves and share lived experience and support. And thank you to Annette, who unfortunately couldn't be here today because she's broken her foot. And all her hard work, yes. So she's in a moon boot, yes. So on our website, we have a section that is specifically for patient information, and the top is the brain tumour information. Then also we have the paediatric information. We do also have stuff on stroke, Parkinson's and TBI. All those organisations, all those conditions have really good organisations that already provide great support networks and information. They're all listed on our website. So you may have family or friends who are going through journeys in those different categories as well. And then Grey May is part of today, and what we're trying to do is raising awareness, as many people have said. But when they had a loved one get brain cancer, they didn't even know anything about it. So we want to spread the word. Yes, we want to raise money, but we also want to spread the word as well. And even if I'm sure there's lots of people out there don't even know about the support group, there's lots of ways of spreading the word. But ultimately, we do have an online auction at the moment. We've got a few things up there that people might like, so I do encourage you to go online and have a look. We have got some samples downstairs of some of the items that people can bid on. I think everyone wants to go and do the lab tour and get lunch. So.